Microplastics, an invisible threat to our health. This is the second part of a previous video on this same important topic. What are microplastics and why are they dangerous? Remember that they are tiny pieces of plastic, so small that they are almost invisible. These are called microplastics. They come from many places, from decomposing plastic bottles to the tiny particles in our face creams. These tiny fragments are everywhere, in the air and especially in our oceans. How do they affect marine animals? Marine animals, from tiny creatures to whales, mistake microplastics for food and ingest them. This causes many problems for them. Digestive problems. Microplastics can block your intestines and make you sick. Less food. Being filled with plastic, the animals eat less and can become weaker. Toxins. Microplastics absorb toxic substances from the water and, when eaten, transmit them to animals, causing diseases and death. And what about us humans? We are also at risk. In fact, we are already exposed to microplastics through food. By eating fish and shellfish, we are ingesting the microplastics that these animals have accumulated in their bodies. The air, we breathe microplastics, especially in cities. Skin, when using beauty products with microplastics, we absorb them through the skin. What consequences does it have for our health? There is still a lot of research being done on this, but we know that microplastics can cause inflammation. Our bodies react to microplastics as if they were a threat, causing inflammation. Intestinal problems, they can alter the good bacteria in our intestine. Other diseases, it is suspected that they could be related to more serious diseases, but further studies are needed. What's happening with Mediterranean bluefin tuna? The problem is so serious that microplastics have been found in stool tests in some European countries in the Mediterranean basin. Bluefin tuna is a big problem. These fish, being at the top of the food chain, accumulate many microplastics in their bodies and, when consumed by us, transmit this contamination to us. This not only affects tuna, but also puts at risk our health and the economy of the communities that depend on tuna fishing. What can we do? It is important to reduce the amount of plastic we use and recycle as much as we can. We can also choose products that do not contain microplastics and support companies that care about the environment. In summary, microplastics are an invisible threat that affects both animals and us. It is essential to take urgent measures to reduce their presence on our planet and protect our health and that of future generations. The World Health Organization calls for a comprehensive assessment of the presence of microplastics in the environment and their impact on human health. Recommends reducing single-use plastics to avoid the generation of microplastics. Optimize wastewater and drinking water treatment systems. Further studies are needed to better understand exposure to microplastics and their effects on human health. Standardized methods need to be developed to measure microplastic particles and assess their presence in freshwater. Finally, it is necessary that the entire society be educated on these issues. Hopefully, with everyone's effort, we will solve this complex problem. And let us have a new dawn.